Hey, it's me again. I just feel the need to speak out on a few things that I've noticed after the election. Some things that people have been saying that I can't sit here and not say something about it. But first of all, I'd like to say that I'm just proud to be a witness to what is going on right now, and being just alive in this time and place. It's an amazing time, and like an almost magical time where it seems like you can do anything and be anything you want. And I think that's a wonderful thing. And I think if people don't see that as a wonderful thing, regardless of who you are voting for, you're really ignorant. And really, that if you didn't see that the whole world was wanting this, more than just America, which I've also never heard of. I mean, I know I'm not some old guy or whatever, but in all my years, I've never noticed that other countries were watching our election as if it was their own, and wanting for a candidate to win as much as they did. So that in itself is just amazing, and this is revolutionary. I don't care what anybody says, and if you can't see that, you truly are an ignorant person. But I like to address a few things that I notice people saying on Facebook and some kind of offhanded comments that are being made. It just doesn't really make sense to me. First of all, somebody said that the only reason, or not the only reason, but they find it shocking or whatever that 95% of all black people voted for Barack Obama. And I think, and they said that it was only because it was based on his race. Well, let me tell you, I'm black, and I can definitely tell you the reason that I voted for Barack Obama was not solely because he was black. Now, I'm not going to say that didn't play a part, because that'd be a lie, and I'm not a liar. So that is not the sole reason. He represents change. He represents a revolutionary movement, more than a campaign. And John McCain was not bringing anything else but a campaign and a slogan. Barack Obama had a movement that meant so much more than just, I want to be president. So it goes far beyond him as a person, far beyond him as being a black man, and far beyond, far beyond anything John McCain or Sarah Palin was saying. So that's right there in itself is proof. And another thing is, when you say, or when you take note of 95% of all black people voting for Barack Obama, you also have to look at, the candidate. Barack Obama was a Democrat, and as everybody knows who ever pays attention to politics, most black people are Democrats. And you're not going to vote for somebody who's not doing anything for you. So a Republican in most cases is not doing anything for minorities. And it's not only black people who are voting for Barack Obama. So in a sense, it only makes sense that African Americans would vote for Barack Obama because, of course, as him being an African American or him being a minority, he is going to have on his mind and on his agenda somebody of color and somebody of, a different race or different color or whatever. And he has not only real America in mind, which McCain and Sarah Palin made obvious that they wanted to take care of real America. Can you tell me what real America is? Because I thought I was a real American, but I guess to them I'm not. So I mean, like, they want to take care of real America, but Barack Obama wants to take care of all America. So of course, the black vote, 95% of it was for him, because by voting for somebody of the same race or of a minority or of the same, thing, you're going to get taken care of. John McCain, he didn't show any sign of wanting to take care of any minorities or anything like that. And I think nor has any white candidate before. I mean, white Republican candidate. I'm not trying to say that they're racist, but I have not seen a special interest or any kind of interest at all being taken, or initiative being taken for the minority or for blacks or whatever from a Republican. So of course they're not going to vote for McCain. I don't even know the 5%. What are the 5% that did vote for another side? I mean, like, what were they thinking? Because I have not heard anything from McCain about wanting to help, the minority or whatever, and not sincerely anyway. Barack is just so sincere about what he says, and you can see sincerity in his speeches, and you can hear it when he speaks. And I don't see that with Sarah Palin or McCain. They're just another politician who wants the position of commander-in-chief. They're not sincere about what they're trying to do. And Barack Obama is definitely sincere about the movement of change and what he wants to do in America. That's clear. The next thing I have here is people are still talking about he's a Muslim, and now that he's in office, he's going to do some kind of terrorist activity. First of all, that's very, very ignorant of people to say. What happened to separation of church and state? If you're a real American and you really support the system, first of all, that's what you would be saying, is separation of church and state. But I know for some people that's hard to separate religion from anything because it's a very important thing. But also, being a Muslim should not have, that's just so ignorant. Like, that's disgusting that somebody can place that on him and then directly relate it to a terrorist. That's just so disrespectful, and that's judgmental. So if you are calling yourself a Christian, you're actually sinning by judging somebody against that. So maybe you should reopen your Bible and take a look at that. And first of all, and another thing is, I would think Bush has more terrorist connections than Obama does, because I think he's the reason, a lot of the reason for 9/11 happening. He already had a personal vendetta against a lot of people over there. Saddam Hussein, he had a personal vendetta. Him and his father had a personal vendetta against them. And another thing is, I was watching a documentary on 9/11, and it seems very coincidental that this building with all these records and all these, big businesses have all their records there, and all these people who are going bankrupt, the building just blows up and all their debts are erased. Come on now, that doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. Something else is up there, because there's a lot of people who got away with billions of dollars out of 9/11. People need to go back and take a second look at that, because there was a lot of hysteria going on. It was sad. People were overwhelmed. Even I didn't look at the stuff until like years later, but there's documentaries out there that there's some fishy stuff going on, and we definitely did not take a deep enough look into what happened on that day in the aftermath of these rich politicians and rich people getting away with all this money from that incident. And I think President Bush, something else is going on there. And if you want to call somebody a terrorist running for president, or somebody who has terrorist connections, you need to look at him, because the terrorist things happened when he was in office. So that's how I feel about that. And there's a lot of other things that are being said. Which really just don't make sense to me at all. Like, why people are so upset. I mean, of course people are going to be upset that their candidate didn't win, but really this is something that the world wanted. Not just America wanted this. They wanted it overseas in Africa, in Australia, in Japan. They were watching. I mean, all over the world. This is not just about us anymore. This is not even just about America anymore. It's about the world. And if you can't see that this is a beautiful thing, and a beautiful thing in the maturing of our country as a whole, something must be wrong with you. Because either way, if you're a Democrat or Republican, you have to look at this situation and say, "Wow, I'm in history." And I'm seeing history play out right in front of my eyes, and you can't say that it's not a beautiful thing. If you do, you really must be just the most ignorant of people not to think that this is good. And if you're saying that, like, to say that there's people also saying that Barack Obama is going to be assassinated before he even gets into office. First of all, that's so disrespectful against your own country. Like, first of all, he's the president now. Whether you like it or not, you don't say things like that about the president. You would never say that about a white candidate. You would never say that about Bush when he got into office. So why would you think that's okay to say about Barack Obama? And that's racism right there for you, because nobody was saying that about President Bush. Or maybe some people were, but not as much. Like, I'm seeing it a lot. Like, you go on YouTube and look up a video of congratulating Obama. He's going to be dead before he gets into office.